Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some college Call of Duty, our third series on the night. Arguably one of our most hype matches here coming in. We're going to have Purdue University up against Butler University here. Both of these teams fighting out through the Midwest. My name Vision's joined here with Spyro as we get ready to dive in towards this. It has been very exciting. Both of these teams growing in the top 25 here for us, Spyro. We have 13th for Purdue, and we have Butler at 22nd. And on top of this, both of them very strong hardpoint teams coming in towards our first map.
Yeah, just like you mentioned, especially so far into this season, it's so important to keep those points locked down. And Butler is actually going to come off with an 11-2 record in hardpoint, with Purdue with an 11-1 record as well. So both of these teams can turn around on a dot to be able to pull off some incredible hardpoint games. And I think we're going to have some really great ones coming into the series.
Yeah, we absolutely will. But we're going to take a look at the rosters here. We're going to jump over to Purdue University and seeing some of these players, as we're going to have Vanish, Tom, Benji, Proxy, Kanani, and Drew here for our roster. This team has been fairly dominating. Like Spyro just said, 11-1 in the HPs. A lot of these players very good at respawn as a whole, and they are going to be the team to look out for. Watching, at least for me personally, Proxy and Kanani, I've seen these guys put in so much work, get a lot done, and they are definitely just one of those teams that can roll over you if you're not ready to actually step up here and match their gun skill.
Taking a look now at Butler Esports. Once again, with the 11-2 record, we have Slash and Knives, Plasma, Slick Bick, Sir Aaron, and Vortex. For me, that player to look out for definitely is going to be Vortex. Currently has a 1.6 KD in 44 seconds in the hill. That's their lead slayer, and also with some incredible time in on the hill as well. And that's what you want to be seeing from these teams every single hardpoint game is your lead slayer. They can get those kills outside of the hill as well, but it's always important to make sure they are still taking down the time for your team.
That's right here, and kind of just touching on both of these squads, pretty important going in towards the Midwest. I mean, Purdue University only has actually dropped one series here thus far towards the season here for us, so they have looked absolutely fantastic. I do believe that was actually against Concord Maroon, as they have been flawless in this Midwest division. But you know, Purdue University 8-1, we got Butler University 8-3. They're pretty much right behind them. A couple of series lost for them. They definitely have a little bit of work to do here for us still within the season, but they're absolutely up there here and definitely can look to contend with this squad. It's all about, you know, preparation, coming in with an actual game plan. And well, now I think we're actually going to start talking about some of the maps we have for us here, because both of these teams very good with the submachine guns, very good at being up close and personal, and actually taking a look at them. We're going to see Azir Cave here for our hardpoint. Arklov Peak once again, as I think we've had it on stream for every single series Tuesday and thus far today. St. Petrograd domination, and of course, if we need the map 4 and map 5, we're going to have double gun runners here for hardpoint and search and destroy.
Yeah, just wanted to touch on something that you mentioned as well. The SMGs for both these teams are so powerful, but to start that off, Azir Cave hardpoint adds a map that very heavily fares for their AR players as well. So we're going to look for them to try and turn up a little bit as well. Hopefully lock that down as much as possible. And once again, Arklov Peak, Search and Destroy. Both these teams, decent records in the Search and Destroy. Butler Esports, a couple 1.1 KDs across the board, but we're going to be looking at them to hopefully turn that around as well.
Yeah, they're looking to really step it up here. This would be a massive win for Butler, as of course they already have, you know, a couple of losses here. I believe one being to Concord Maroon here. They have another one here, I believe, over trying to just take a look and remember here some of their matches, and trying to see what else they have lost to. But yeah, it looks like they've struggled against just some of these top teams here so far for us. So overall, this would be a really big opportunity to find yourself a win. I think in our very first series of the day, we talked about that team, you know, trying to find themselves a really big win, trying to take out some of these top teams, where you're seeing some of these big teams that have been able to have this consistency start to solidify themselves in these top 4 spots. And, you know, a few teams already having, of course, a clinch here within the playoffs. Looking more specifically at this Midwest division, Concord Maroon, how many times have they been out of the mouths here of a lot of us casters? If they have looked phenomenal, they're coming in towards playoffs. They have a lot of momentum. I believe they took the last tournament that was also hosted here for the CCL, leading in towards Modern Warfare. So they got a lot of, I guess would say, a lot of energy here behind them, a lot of momentum, just looking to see if they can do it. But either way, in towards our match coming up here for us. Again, it's going to be Azir Cave. Purdue Esports up against Butler Esports to see who's going to come out on top for our very first match.
Players running in over towards the middle of the map. The flashes are starting to go down. And on your screen right now, we have Benji, one of the MP5 players for Purdue Esports, just going to be running to catch any early kills off of that hill. Two are going to go down very quick, but the trades coming in for both teams as well. Control for that middle hard point is quickly going to be towards Butler Esports and Purdue now contested.
Contested back in the fourth tier fourth. Of course, what we expect at the very first hill, typically not a lot of points collected overall, but Plasma does find 2 with the AR. And now we're seeing Plasma actually back up. They want to make sure they keep this favorable spawn going in towards our second rotation. Drew's laying down and has the cover from Kanani, able to grab himself 1 big kills in the back. Benji's the one player that has a very outstanding KD in this game mode here. And he's got a lot of blue arrows, a lot of blue players to try and cut through. They now have the information of where he is. Big 1v1 comes out for Slick as he's going to shut that stop down, make sure they're not able to get the flip out. But while all that's happening, Purdue Esports have happily been collecting a lot of the points here off of our initial build.
Benji, that player in the back, was so important for Purdue Esports to hopefully lock down those hills for this second hardpoint. Unfortunately, was not able to make that happen, though. So this next hardpoint is going to pop, and like you mentioned, 42 now up for Purdue Esports. Butler Esports now in the game, starting to get a couple kills. Purdue was able to find 2, make that 2 and a team kill. Sounds like he's trying to fight from behind. Players run through the smoke for Slash and Knives. Incredible game sense out of him to be able to pick that player off. Right over there in such a dominant position from him to be in. And now Butler Esports needs to start getting some time on the board for him.
He's able to slay and kind of stop the push, but none of his teammates were able to help and assist with stopping the push here from the side of Purdue Esports. So a good amount of points still he's collected here from Butler, able to grab themselves almost about half the hard point worth. Banished Tom in the hill with a smoke, doesn't know what's going on. That player really didn't want to challenge Tom, as he's going to be able to deal with him with ease, and he does eventually get taken out. So these last couple points not going to matter, won't be collected from anyone. Benji finds 2 on the rotation, and we're going to see Kanani also find himself 1. This would be very massive for Butler to try and get themselves in towards this soccer field right now, but Purdue are the first ones to find the initial time. We're starting to see these blue arrows find a little bit of kills as 3 are going to fall here, and now this is a chance for Butler to now pounce and get themselves the points here on this B3 hill.
So important for Butler to break in as soon as possible, and they're going to do just that. 30 seconds left on the board for hopefully them to be able to try and come back and find some more points here. A little contest was going to come in, but unfortunately that player is going to be taken off of the point now. 4 dead. The side of Butler Esports down so many points. That is not what you want to see happen. Going into the end of that hill now. The kills once again for Purdue, able to pick those players off just without any hassle. Honestly, the players over on Butler Esports, taking a look at the stats real quick. 9 and 6, 6 and 10. Currently all pretty much negative on the board. Looking at Purdue though, Benji is going to be that player picking heads off of all the heck. He's been able to find 1, turn the second. He's going to fall though, but while that's happening, for the first time, looks like Purdue is not going to be able to find that first hit on the hill. Vortex with 3 is going to stop that push momentarily, and hopefully have Butler Esports start to mount a little bit of a comeback on this K-Plus hardcore.
Yeah, they're trying to get some work done. Slick Bick able to grab himself a double, so Butler Esports starting to get some life going here in their shots. We're going to find a couple of doubles, but as I say that, 4 goes down. However, they did pick up the majority of this time off of this hill, but the big question, we got to start asking ourselves here is who's rotating to the next one. There's 15 seconds left on this one, and Butler looks to try and grab the scrap time, but Kanani here and the help of his teammate are not allowing anyone to push through. One more member will come in, and Sir Aaron will get it done with a double, so that's at least going to give them 5 points, but that's not that big at all. We're seeing the rotation already set up. Benji actually loses a very crucial gunfight here for Slash and Knights, and this is the member you got to watch for. He's got to battle through a couple more players. Drew holding this close right. He's going to now challenge out, finds this kill, and that's going to stop the push from Slash. And that's just going to be the time picked up as Kanani finds himself a 3-piece here on the middle of this yellow alley. This is very big as Butler Esports, now they're starting to fall into this hole where they're just trying to flood on in. The nades will be good at least to try and get this member off the hill for now, but you can see it. 5 kill spree now for Kanani. Actually make that number 6 as he is heating up and he is netting his team so much extra time.
We've mentioned it before, and it is so true. The ARs can do so much damage on Azir Cave when you're in the right position, and Command is showing us that. But on the other side as well, Drew still in that hardpoint, racking up all of the time for Purdue Esports. Very, very great stuff out of them, and it's starting to get away from Butler. 162 to 73 now. That rotation to that middle hardpoint is going to start to come in again. And like we mentioned in the beginning, not a lot of time can be earned off of this, a lot of the time as well. So right now, Butler is able to find 4, might just try and take as many points as they can, take what they can get, you might say, for the time being, and trying to secure those spawns for the next hard point. Plasma is going to be able to find 1, but unfortunately he's not in the position to keep those spawns in for his team. You can see how far out on your mini-map they are spawning, and it is going to be Purdue. It's going to keep those spawns. So now with the 30 seconds left on the hill, there is a little bit of a chance, unless the contest starts to come through, Butler to try and rack up a little bit of a comeback on the board before the next hardpoint pops.
This is pretty good for Butler, though. You see it. They were able to grab themselves the whole hardpoint. I don't think it was any points taken away from Purdue Esports. They do at least contest a bit of the time. Gonna be forced to throw a nade, but popping up is going to be Sir Aaron as he is going to shut that member down here. 162 to 122. Butler closes the gap quite a bit going in towards our second set of rotations, and you can see them flooding the back as Plasma now has found himself 2 big kills. That slash and knife's able to take Gennady off of this power position here, but Proxy, he's still holding on to it. He's going to now reinforce his team in towards the cave, but all these Butler members are now starting to make their second push into the hill. First 25 points have been good thus far here for Purdue Esports, and that's 5 down for Butler. And now you can see it, the immediate rotation. Vanish Tom pushes the advantages, gets up towards this cobble area, and Butler Esports are in a tough spot because they have to start rotating for our next hill.
You mentioned it, the rotations are so important, especially off of that one hill, and Vanish Tom was the one to make that first rotation. And if you're Butler Esports, that's not what you want to see at all, because not only do you have the players from Purdue locking down that hardpoint that can net them so many points, you have them set up for the next hardpoint as well. So you're essentially fighting from behind for each and every single point. In Proxy, when he is shooting like that, picking heads off of glitches, he might find another one, but he's not going to be able to. But that is going to give him the time to let the players for his team jump in, but it's actually going to be Butler Esports now setting up in this hill.
4 big kills in a row. I think that's now 5 that have come through crucially for Butler. As the last time around, I don't think they were able to break this soccer field hill. Proxy, though, he was on a 5 spree. He gets himself right back onto a spree for himself, as actually he's still on one. He's on 7, and he snaps. Make it number 8. Is he gonna find another one here? 22 and 14. The AR is such a massive presence on Azir Cave, and this man continuing to get work done. They can win off of this hill. Butler have to contest. That's big as they do take down 2, but Plasma also finds Vortex, unfortunately, and now they got to touch the hill. It's being contested for a quick moment, but not long enough. Purdue Esports, they will hang on to this soccer field hill, and they'll close out this map number 1, 250 to 149.
Dominance, pure dominance the entire way through. Really, all you can say for Purdue Esports, as if you looked at the kill feed, half the time during the game you were seeing a constant 4 dead, a constant 5 dead in a row. The kill feed was lighting up all yellow the entire time for Purdue, and we highlighted for this team how important it was for the SMGs to go big, but on Azir Cave especially, the ARs were the ones that were able to come out of the gate and really turn up big for that Purdue team.
They turned it up big, and this Butler team not bad at hard points whatsoever. They had a 11-2 track record that is now 11-3 track record here for us going forward in towards the season, and they just were a little bit outmatched due to that AR pressure you just mentioned. The presence was a little bit too much. We saw Gennady constantly finding himself massive 2 and 3 pieces, stopping the submachine guns from getting too close in towards the hill. They were unable to flood, and then we also saw Proxy starting to heat up himself, getting a lot of work done here. So both of the the AR members get so much work. We see, actually, I think it was a good amount of hill time there for Drew, as he was able to stack up just quite a bit for himself, and he was just letting his AR slay around and say, listen, I'm just going to sit down here. I'm just going to chill and relax. I'm going to have a drink, take it easy. You guys are doing all the work here for us, and it certainly showed. But we're going to take another look here, at least at our maps going forward for the rest of the series, and there is something to certainly talk about, because this search and destroy squad for the side of Butler University has looked fairly solid here up towards this point. They are 7-3. Purdue is 5-4. So this is definitely one of the weak spots going forward here for us. Now, we have seen so much play, so much action on this map here for us on Arklov Peak. So there is an opportunity to maybe kind of figure out how to approach this map, but you have to hope that Butler University is able to come together and find themselves to win the time of the series going in towards that Petrograd domination.
You mentioned that Arklov Peak is definitely one of those maps that it seems like teams are starting to favor a lot, and yeah, it's definitely going to need Butler's going to need their teamwork to come out hard, starting things off, have a couple pushes at the same time going into those bomb sites. You never want to be pushing one at a time, and that's something you saw them do a little bit during that hard point. So hopefully going into that Arklov Peak, we're going to see them start to be a little bit more cohesive in their pushes.
Yeah, we would certainly hope so here. But to highlight some KDs, Plasma's got himself a 1.51 KD ratio. Next closest on his team is a 1.16 here from Vortex. So watching these players trying to get some work done on towards our Arklov Peak. But on the opposite sides, we know we do have a 1.6 KD for Benji, as this man has been putting in a lot of work. Proxy, the next one behind him. Everyone else kind of just around that 1.09, 1.0 or negative. So watching for Benji, watching for Proxy, at least for the side of Purdue going in towards our Arklov Peak.
Yeah, definitely, especially the players like Plasma as well. Arklov Peak is a very big map, and you want to see those players with your ARs especially pop off and be able to pick those players off at a distance. Starting things off now with Benji grabbing the bomb for Purdue Esports.
Grabs the bomb here. It looks like the first push over towards B. I love this. The adaptation in towards the middle of the season here for us for Modern Warfare. But this is a nice read from Aaron as he is up top. He finds the first kill on towards Benji. There is going to be at least a trade of a kill on towards the map from Vanished Tom, as he is going to slay down Slash and Knives. And now 1 minute left here on the clock for us, as it looks like there is a push over towards B still. You have to wait for Purdue to kind of gather each other, make sure they're close enough, because we have seen it so many times for us, even today on stream, Spyro, these teams hitting the bomb too late. It costs them, but they're making the fast rotation. I love this. If you're going to do it, though, you have to commit, and you have to do it quickly.
This is a great decision, a great play by Purdue Esports, but it looks like it was red as well. Plasma's being able to take that player down. It looks like there might be a second rotation over towards that B-bomb site now, but 3 players are going to fall, leaving Proxy in a 1v1. Bomb is going to be down as well, and 22 seconds left. That's going to be difficult in this sniper battle. He is going to be able to find one. So I'm going to see if he might just try and pad the stats a little bit. Not able to find that kill through that pillar. Now he's going to chase him and saying, hey, I might lose this round, but you are not getting away from me. Unfortunately, that player was able to do just that. Turns on him. Butler Esports goes up 1 in the search and destroy.
Butler Esports living up to their reputation in search and destroy for our first round, as again, they were able to have this 7-3 record coming in, so they have a very good track record. In Purdue Esports, this is the one game mode that they do actually struggle in, as unfortunately Infinity Ward strikes again here with our scoreboard, so we're not going to be able to take a look at the stats likely until the very end of the game here. But into round number 2, we're going to see exactly what the push will be for Butler. Last time around, it was a push over towards B here from Purdue Esports. They do have the good setup here to try and stop this push. Trophy's going to be down for Vanished Tom, as he looks to get himself in this power position.
Vanished Tom just going to be trying to see if he can't catch a player out. Vortex is going to be able to turn a kill onto Benji, making it a quick 5v4. And all the players from Butler Esports spread out so far around Arklov Peak. And I actually love when teams do this, because this gives you so much possibility for where you actually want to bring that bomb. We saw Purdue that last round having a little bit of difficulty possibly deciding where they wanted to bring it. But it looks like Butler starting to make a little bit of a commit over towards the A site. And that player with bomb has teammates to work with, but so much pressure coming in for Purdue, but there is a player on the left side of your minimap. That is going to be Slickbick. He can find the kills from behind, but he gets turned on. That is a kill that you have to win if you are on the flank like that. But now, 17 seconds left. Bomb is going to have to be planted, but once again, it's over in the mid side. It looks like this was just a little bit possibly difficulty committing to a site.
I don't think he gets to it. Then he might.
Maybe.
No, he doesn't get this. I'm pretty sure he started at 4 point something here. There's no way. It was pretty close.
No.
But at the end of the day, this is what happens. The 30 seconds being shaved off of our timer and search and destroy is still playing quite a big presence here on this map. I think I've casted this map here every single series, and I did the first 3 on Tuesday. So I've seen Arklov peak now more than I ever should, maybe in 1 week of casting. But either way, I've seen this happen probably 5 or 6 rounds now, where teams are unable to get the bomb down in time. They make the late push, and it unfortunately just doesn't work out. Like, even if things don't look great on the certain side of the map that you are on, and it's almost the side of that you have to pretty much commit to, due to this map just being so massive and taking so long to try and move towards the next bomb site.
It can be very difficult to commit, and you get in bouncing off that. You might just it seems maybe a little bit of stubbornness from a couple of the players as well. You want them to just be like, no, they might have a play set in their head where, no, we're going to be hitting this B bomb site, or we're going to be hitting this A bomb site, but instead just kind of play with what they got, and that is exactly what Purdue is doing right now. The bomb being planted down at B, fighting now on a 5v4. The SMGs are going to be in this B bomb site as well, and they really have almost every entrance here locked down. This is going to be difficult for the players from Butler to be able to break in. Benji gets one, tries to turn on the door. A little bit of a pre-fire, hoping to find someone out.
Nice win, Vortex. He's able to get himself one, but we still got too many members to try and cut through here, and while there is clearly no time on the clock to get this done, so you can just try and play for a couple more kills. Unfortunately, actually throws out the little fist pump there with the melee, so he is not able to find the second kill. Drew, the one who plants the bomb, gets the dirty work done here for his team, ends up finding the last kill on towards Vortex, and this is a much better push coming through here on the offense. If you're going to go for control around this B bomb site, you got to move in together. That's exactly what they do. I believe they threw the smoke down in the middle of the map. There's some machine guys got up close and personal, got in towards the area, and there was no one there to actually contest it there for the side of Butler Esports. So we're going to see now them at least on the offense as 2-1 lead up for Purdue Esports. You did just also see it. A lot of dead silences available to try and maybe make some plays, but smoke down, Vortex, sniper in hands, waiting for someone to overpeak so we can open up a first play.
Vortex with the sniper, like you said, being able to pick off quite a few heads throughout this Arklov Peak game. Now he's just going to get himself into a better position, see if he can't catch someone out, because as it stands, looks like it might end up being a full commitment to this A bomb site, but a very, very slow one at that. Both of these teams very confident with just trying their best to let the other team make the mistake. And that sniper player from Purdue almost gets a little bit of a haircut. Luckily, he's able to sneak away. Vortex now, though, showing his confidence with that sniper and pistol combo. Almost taken up by Benji. He's able to dip back. Will be finished off by Vanish Tom, though, and now Butler fighting from behind in a 4v5.
Really surprised that Vortex pushed up there, but I guess the trades are good, so we'll take it. Butler Esports are going to find themselves up by 1-man advantage as the nades are coming down. I don't think the second one was unfortunately on top of the bomb site. Now that Plasma has also found Drew, this is going to open up a 1v3 for Kanani as he has to slay through 2 more members. He finds one. He has a good amount of time on the clock to do it. He's also reading the play correctly. I think he might have just popped his dead silence. Here he goes. He's got to try and work through 2 more ones in the trench. He pops up, able to find him on the mantle, and he can't snap on him, doesn't see him in time. So Butler Esports, they respond with an offense of their own, and they'll settle us at 2-all.
All the time on the board for Kanani, but unfortunately not able to make anything come of it. 2-all, like you said. We got ourselves a little bit of a game here now. All the players on either side really picking up the slack. Seems like now Purdue hoping to come in on this offense, trying to turn this edge up into the series.
Benji AR in hand, he will be leading the charge here for his Purdue squad as Trophy is downed. So no nades going to be effective. Smoke is using the trench, and Benji immediately going to pop that dead silence. Looks to make the aggressive play. Not a whole lot of Butler players to actually respond with. It's really just Vortex here, and I believe Plasma. Shots go down, so they're going to be able to now get the information that Vortex is going to have to back up and push away. Plasma can find a big win. He does. He wins his 1v1, and now Vortex has actually found himself a pick. So they only stack 2 members, but they both win their one-on-ones, and now we're going to see a 3v5 advantage here for Butler Esports.
Initially, that could have been a very good play by Purdue. The shots come in from Benji. Wasn't able to finish that kill, but he could have had a little bit of a chance for teams to come in and cause possibly a little bit of a distraction. But now, looks like Vanished Tom's able to take one out. Does have the bomb, but in a 4v1 situation, they did in fact go up 3-2. Everything to do in that round and not the resources to do it, unfortunately.
Not able to do it there for us. And that was a nice round coming in overall, just winning the 1v1s. They still only stacked 2 members there, and it was really just no trades that were that came out there from Purdue Esports. So they were kind of just stopped in their tracks. They weren't able to do anything else because the rest of the Butler players, now that they got the information that the push was over towards A, it made it pretty easy for them to be able to collapse and gain all that extra map pressure here. But this is the first time, I believe, let's see a dedicated push over towards B here. Sniper in hand for Vortex as he looks to try and bring some of those picks from last round in towards our round number 6. Plays towards the outer fields. Drew is going to find a kill on towards Slash in Knives. And Drew now is going to play his life and keep himself alive.
Great plays by Drew as well. Like I said, able to drop back. This is starting to make things so difficult for Butler Esports, playing so far from behind. You can see them still pushed out to that graveyard area, and the players so spread out still for Purdue. It's going to be so hard, even if they wanted to make a flank. You can see that player on your mini-map, number 1 at that cross. It's going to make things difficult if anyone tries to run by. But Siren is, I think, going to be that bomb carrier. He's trying to get 2 shots down, see if he can spread the bomb site out, let himself get the bomb down. But with 20 seconds left, this pressure from Purdue is so strong, and they're doing so well to try and keep Butler away from being able to get onto the site. Slickbag is going to find 2, though. That's going to open things up to get this bomb down. They do have enough time. Bomb is going to go down. Slickbag watching over his teammates, not able to find one. Vanished Toms with 2. Now a 3v1 for Plasma. He is possibly going to be able to
kill off the bomb here.
He's going to be able to do that. Plasma with a good shot.
round.
Left, though, has to win the gunfight. Wins 1. Isn't able to win the second. Proxy with the pistol.
Oh, the pistol got me a little bit nervous there, Spyro. I thought he maybe could have missed a shot or 2. If he did, that is a winnable round for the side of Butler Esports. Just a nice, really nice, good timing overall coming through from Plasma. Challenging out because he has to. And yeah, a couple of these shots rather, just go a little bit wide to the right and don't actually connect on that hitbox that's falling down there. That is maybe a round you could turn around on its head and pull off a 1v3 miracle. Doesn't end up happening there for us, so we're going to be tied right back up, squared at 3-3 for us in our map number 2. If you're just tuning in, map number 1 from the side of Purdue was won pretty convincingly, and Butler Esports, they have themselves a great track record here in Search and Destroy, but Purdue matching their pressure here thus far in towards the Arklov Peak. As we'll see Drew lead the charge with his team. Has the stun, doesn't get the stun check onto anything. Nate is going to be 8 right in the face. He will keep himself alive, but this should give Butler the information that they are making a push over towards the A-bomb site.
The aggressive push is going to come through, and it's going to be effective for Purdue. Bomb's going to go down with almost all players left on the board. Aaron is going to be able to find one player that dropped. It's going to be Kanani. And we have Benji just slinking around the trench, holding this area, looking for someone off of a position, but he's going to be the one found out. Now the kills are going to be coming in from either side. Trying to do a quick 2v2. Plasma now trying to catch another player out. He's going to snap onto him, but now he's going to have to
gotta push.
He's going to have to find him fast. 15 seconds left on that bomb. He's going to be able to do it. The shots are coming in. He gets the kill, but does he have enough time?
I don't think he does. No, there's no way he got this. He got that at 6 seconds. Plasma knows it. Almost able to go big. That player in the end, though, able to buy so much time. I think that was Proxy, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Hides behind the box, doesn't need to challenge out, keeps himself alive. 4-3 now. Purdue Esports, they are getting themselves closer and closer to a 2-0 map count. They have been the ones pretty much leading the charge since that very first round that was taken from Butler. So this is looking pretty phenomenal for them, at least for the time being. This is a big offense now coming through for Butler Esports. You see some dead silence being popped. They might be looking to make a fast, aggressive push here over towards the right side of the map.
Yeah, those dead silences are popped, but they're popped really far back as well, so I wonder if that might not be a little bit early, or it actually looks like this is going to be a very quick commitment for the side of Butler Esports. Slickpick is going to be able to find one, tries to push him off of that position. Not going to be able to do so, but he is going to have the information. The player withdrew, though. He is going to be able to drop back. And a good hold now coming in for Purdue Esports over on this B bomb site. We touched on this a little bit in the beginning. Search and Destroy, one of Purdue's more weaker game types, but right now, the holds are good for them. They're playing this so well. 36 seconds left. Butler Esports has to get in at that bomb soon. Benji's going to find one on the cross, though. Things are not looking phenomenal for them. Another player is going to go down, turn this into a 2v4. Slickpick is going to come in, give his friend some assistance. The bomb is going to be planted. Now, Proxy and Benji, everything to do.
Yeah, all to Benji. Taken down in the last couple moments there. So big offensive round that I stated off the start of the round does get secured, locked in here. And that's going to square us off once again in our search and destroy. 4-4 now. This next big round, the one who's going to take the round lead, this is going to be a crucial one. We're going to have Purdue now on the offense. They have attacked multiple different bomb sites. Their pushes over towards the left side of the map, though, around A, have not looked great by any means. We've seen Butler Esports put a stop to them multiple times, so they might not want to run straight into that wall again, and they do want to maybe try and have a chance over towards the B bomb site. They have found some good execution over here. And now we'll see if there can be any initial kills. Proxy AR in hand. Going to get the information that no one is around this snowpack area. Vanish Tom now gets the green light to push up to the stairs and looks to see if they can find some initial kills. Lots of bullets are flying, but no one going down off the bat here. 30 seconds already elapsed, and now the push coming through in towards being done. Fight is going to be good for Benji, and now they have all the room they need to be able to drop the rock and have themselves the man advantage protecting this bomb site. But no, flashing knives gets them off the bomb here, and that's crucial.
Such a great play by them. Purdue is such a fan, it seems to be, of these very aggressive pushes, and B is absolutely the site that allows you to do that. Benji might find one, might not have had enough ammo left in the MP5s. Aaron is going to be able to find him. Proxy with the trade, though. But now, that bomb not going to be planted just yet. Aaron, though, last player alive, has to make something happen in the 2v2. 20 seconds left, doesn't have enough time to make it happen. And Purdue, match point now, or game point now, in the search and destroy.
Oh, game point, match point in this search and destroy for us in Arklov Peak. Butler Esports, they're the strong search and destroy team. Purdue's record is only 5-4, as that is currently the scoreline for us, and they are just going to have to find themselves a good defensive hold, and they can close it out, but don't count out Butler Esports yet. They have a lot of dead silences to play with, and this is going to give them a little bit of room to try and find a kill. Vortex is going to work this left area of the map. Might just be throwing some information. I like this. You throw the smoke, but the rest of the team is already towards the right. So you're going to draw some of these members actually out to play, and Vortex just needs to play this angle, wait for someone to overextend, and hopefully his teammates, he can rely on them to try and grab some control over towards his B-bomb site.
Benji, though, that player was pushed up so far, but the read isn't going to exactly be right, because that, like you said, that bomb is over on the B bomb site. So while he is going to find one, the rest of Butler Esports is going to be over here trying to look for the hit. The kills aren't going to come in just yet. And it looks like Drew is the man on this position right here, trying to make something happen and hold the position. He's going to be able to snap on one. There's going to be one more. That's going to be Slickpick. He's going to put the shots in, but try and drop out now. 30 seconds left. This is going to have to be a commitment for Butler Esports, but the kills are going to come in. Benji finds two. Now it's all Aaron left. in a 1v5.
He got 4 in this
Wow.
round here, Spyro. This man found the big kill onto Vertex here that was holding on to that push through. Benji wins that. He then finds a 2-piece. He sees the last member, shoots some shots. He ego towels out, takes them down with ease, cleans up 4. I want to see the scoreboard. There it is. He's going to drop 9. No one drops double digits, but they all are able to collectively find themselves enough kills to get themselves the map win. That's what's most important. Other side, we see at least Plasma, who did drop double digits here for his squad at 10 kills. Got a lot of work done here, but Purdue Esports, they win their weakest game mode in this series up against Butler, and that has got to be setting off some alarms going into a domination where they hold a record of 8-1 and only 1 loss here in the season. This could just be following suit with our other 2 series here for Spyro with the hot 3-0s on the night.
You are so right, and that is without a doubt. If you wanted to make a point in that series, that map is what Butler Esports needed to make that comeback happen. You touched on it. They are nigh unbeatable in domination right now. Butler Esports is fighting from behind and fighting with their backs against the wall as well. They don't have any room to make any mistakes this entire the rest of this game, this entire last game. They have to play near perfect Call of Duty, and the players from Purdue so aggressive right now, and especially on St. Petro. There's a lot of different angles, a lot of different places where the SMGs and the aggression from Purdue can come in handy. So it's going to be hard.
It's going to be very hard for them. And, you know, that's just a big surprise for me. We're seeing so many teams opt into playing this Arklov Peak map. And you have to wonder if going forward here for the vetoes, if they're going to start vetoing this map out, starting to play these other game modes or other maps on this game mode, rather, going forward here for us. But we'll have to see what pans out in the future. But going in towards our third map, we're going to take another look here just at all of the maps and game modes that we've played and that we have coming up here for us. If you didn't turn in again to that first match, Azure Cave was 250 to 149 in favor of Purdue Esports. Map number 2, 6-4, as we just saw there on our screen. And now we jump over towards St. Petrograd Domination. This is a map I feel like, even if you are a weak domination team, that as long as you have knowledge of the spawns and have a basic idea of what you're supposed to do and the power positions you're supposed to get into on a map like this, you can actually find yourself a win, because there is a lot of ways to actually find spawn traps. There's a lot of ways to sneak by your opponents and go for those neutralizations. You win one big one-on-one and you can completely send the map up in the air for the opposing team trying to then backtrack and get themselves the home flag. So there's a lot that can happen on this map here, but there's certainly, we're up to see the side of Butler University step it up a notch if they're going to force any future maps going forward in this series.
You're so right. The spawns, like you said, on St. Petro are so important, but I actually think that might favor Purdue even a little bit more as well if they're able to do some of the things that Benji did over in that last Arklov Peak hardpoint. We saw him push up so far in the beginning of those rounds, completely undetected, and pick up kills that basically won his team the round as well. So we're going to have to see if Butler's knowledge of the spawns can actually overcome the aggression of Purdue Esports. And it's a tall order. It's a very tall order to take.
You're not wrong, but we'll take a look at some of the KDs for some of these players as we have Vortex. That's probably the member that I'm watching here for Butler. 1.68 gets a lot of objective work done on top of this KD. So this is the man to really try and watch out for, who needs to go big if he's going to carry his team into a victory and force a hard point. Following him up, though, we got a good 1.45 for slash and knives. Plasma has a 1.3. So there's lots of members that have the ability to be able to slay for us here on a map like Petrograd and you know, be able to get the work done. It's just really about clutching up. But I mean, you do look at the opposite end, and there's still some strong KDs here for Purdue, who are sitting 8-1 in domination overall here in our season 2 CCL. And we do look at the highest 1.4 for Proxy in this game mode, 1.34 for Benji, who was no surprise. This man is putting up phenomenal numbers. He's in your face. We've mentioned him so much already as he's been getting work done in hard points, getting work done in search and destroy. Now he looks to carry that momentum on towards this map number 3 in the domination. So lots to watch out for, lots of players that have the ability to clutch up. It's all about execution for us now, Spyro.
It's yes, it is. It's all about them actually being able to figure out what they're going to be able to do, work the skills that's work the skills that they have, hopefully turn up just a little bit, like we touched on as well. Not their best domination, but all the chance to turn things around as well. And it's going to be off the backs of a few key players to do it, but a lot of team cohesion has to be able to come through, and a lot of stuff that we didn't see those first 2 maps. Hopefully, they're going to be able to make something come of it.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are here for some more Call of Duty action for the CCL as we get ready to jump in towards our 3rd map in this series. Purdue have found themselves a 2-0 up over Butler University, as Butler has been struggling to find themselves any kind of a footing in the series here, really struggling to force that 2nd map win, as we were definitely expecting them to kind of come out and tie up the series heading in towards our domination, but it's not the case. And well, here we get to going in towards it. It's going to be on St. Petrograd, and only 1 loss has been dropped the entire season here for the side of Purdue Esports, and that was up against Concord Maroon out of all teams. So it is very obvious that they are strong in towards this game mode, and they're likely looking to close out the series right here, right now.
Yeah, like you said, Concord Maroon, the strongest team we possibly might have in the league. This is gonna, like we said, it was a tall order for Butler Esports, but this is their chance to turn this game around and find their footing here on St. Petrograd domination. Teams off the rip. We're going to see those home flags most likely quickly taken, but we can see Vanish Tom pushes forward into B immediately, so has 1 on his view, so he has that information for his team to know there was 1 player possible. Looks like this might actually be a quick hold for the side of Purdue, even though he's going to go down. It wasn't quite grabbed just yet.
That's really big. They go for the B flag right up the bat. I like it, but the kills don't unfortunately fall after him. He gets the player up the middle of the map, but he is not able to get the secure. But there it is for Butler. This is the start you need to have. Now it's about holding on. Vortex looks like he just won a big 1v1 up top. He is now on a bit of a spree now, as he's now found 3. Vortex heating up. He's the player I mentioned that has to get it done. He has another gunfight from Kanani, but he does not want to take it. He is the AR player locking down the high ground. So he will retreat for now, hold on to this middle map area. But here comes 2 members looking for the overextension towards C. I love this play for Purdue. They're looking to play here for the good side of the map, looking for the C flag, but a big win from Slash and Knives actually stops them both. And I can't even emphasize how big this was. His team unfortunately needs him, but he's the one that stops the push on the C. And yet again, Purdue Esports gonna hit a wall off the break of this domination map.
Purdue Esports keeping Slash and Knives humble. We've been able to take him out, but that huge win is going to push them forward just a little bit more, still able to get the points on the board for them right now. Benji is going to find 2. The rest of his team is going to res as well, make that 4 dead quick about the Esports, but unfortunately, Kanani is not able to hop on the B flag and have anything happen from there. 2 players now slide into mid for Purdue. They might need to hop on this B flag unless he is able to come in. No one on there just yet, and all the players for Purdue are spawning back on their home flag. This is looking good for Butler Esports. They're going to start to be able to push through on their minimap. All of the players are hopping around middle, just holding off these players from Purdue from being able to get by them. This is looking great. Purdue, such a domination team, but Butler coming out, guns blazing, or should I say knives blazing, and Slash and Knives finds 2 off the break.
He finds 2, and I said it right before we jumped in towards the break there, that if there was a map that you might be able to find a big domination win up against such a strong domination team, it could very likely be this map, St. Petrograd, as we're going to see another couple kills drop down. A lot of the members also starting to slay here for us, but Kanani's got something to say about that. He will find 2. Unfortunately, he's met with Plasma in the window, so he can't win that long-range battle, can't snap on fast enough. Vanish Tom is in this bottom area trying to get on towards the B flag here. Big win for him. He takes down Plasma. Flash and Knives is still up. Proxy finds 1 and his teammates, as we're seeing Purdue Esports flood on towards this B flag, but they are not letting them on it. Flash and Knives needs to win this big gunfight, as it's going to be neutralized. He's going to push it out. Baze wins the big 1v1 here, as he's cut down and traded from Benji, but this B flag contested so much, so back and forth, but we find the side of Butler Esports with a 30-point lead.
That was so important for Purdue to be able to pick that player off in that hazmat building. It can be so difficult to be able to do that when the ARs are set up all the way back there, and that set them up very well. So like you said, start to now a little bit of a comeback, but the lead still in the hands of Butler Esports, and once again, they're able to turn right back around and start scoring 2 points once again. One player is not able to find anything with the pistol, but 4 are going to drop to the side of Purdue. Once again, they're all spawning back, and all of the players from Butler Esports holding mid so well. This is looking fantastic from them. So many good plays coming out from every single side of the map. Now only 1 minute left in this game. Purdue have to have some sort of a miracle play. Kanani finds 2. That could be the break that they might need, but one player is going to be able to jump up and find him, take him down. Unfortunately, the rest of his team not around to help him. So a good play like that, unfortunately, is not going to be able to turn anything with only 40 seconds left on the board. Unless they can get into a trip cap right now, it's gonna be they're gonna be fighting from a little bit behind going into the second half.
Yeah, and that player number 3 right there, that was Benji. He tries to go for the overextension towards the C flag, tries to draw some members back, but they deal with him just about as soon as he gets close enough to the flag here. Proxy challenges out, but doesn't have a chance as Plasma's able to take him down. Vortex gets behind enemy lines. Kanani tries to take his take at the air player, but the flank is good for Vortex as he is now 17-6. He's on a 9 spree. Nobody is shutting this sub player down right now on the side of Butler Esports, and I don't know what happened in between last 2 games and now here for Aspiro, but Butler Esports, they have turned up. They now have a massive advantage going into the second half.
A light switch. It seems like someone flicked a light switch in this team, and now they're firing on all cylinders. Like I said, Vortex with 17 kills in the first half. That's not good. That is not looking good for Purdue, especially this is a time where you're gonna need your sub players. You're gonna need Benji. You're gonna need Proxy. You're gonna need Kanani to come in and have some very, very big plays here on St. Petrograd. You can see the push now, the quick B push coming from Purdue. It looks like that's actually going to be 3 people over on that B site. Aaron, though, is going to be able to find 1 player on that left side over towards their C flag. B is still neutral for the time being. Proxy is going to be able to find 1. A few are going to go down for Butler. That's going to keep them spawning in the back, but there's 1 player, number 4, that is going to be Kanani all the way in the back on his enemy's flag. Is going to be able to get it neutral, and it looks like possibly be able to. They're not going to be able to go for a C hold, but Butler Esports not spawning right now. This is the chance if they can hold this for a little bit. They're going to be able to put some points on the board, and now that was a huge win in middle. 2 dead by Kanani, and now Purdue fighting from behind. 2 flags to their name. They're going to start mounting and come back.
Yeah, they're mounting it here for us, and they do have the favorable side, which is something to note. They have the B hold, excuse me, and you can see them trying to track players right now, trying to make sure there's no one sneaking by, getting towards that C flag to go for a potential flip. Big kill in the middle is going to come through for Sir Aaron. He finds a second. That's 4 down, and now you're going to see the whole side of Butler Esports press forward, get some map control, and they are going to be able to at least get the neutralize at the very least. There's some nades being thrown out on towards B. Will the capture come through? Looks like it should be good, and it is. So Butler, they're able to respond back. Aaron's keeping himself on this killing spree, as it's going to have to be Vanish Tom that drops down from the window that takes him out here, but still kills dropping. Kanani finds himself 1, but has lost 2 of his teammates here in the middle of the map. He jumps on towards B, but does not have the support to be able to secure this flag just yet.
Aaron doing everything in mid to keep them humble, and it works out for him. He's going to be able to turn B, not just yet, over to the side of his team, but it looks like that is going to come in now. Other Esports up.
Big flank!
Big play, though, by Kanani. That's going to be 4 dead, 5 dead now. This is the chance for Purdue Esports to come in and get this B at least neutral, but it looks like they're definitely going to be able to get this cap. You can see the players for Purdue starting to push through a little bit, trying to hold these players from Butler in from going any further, and Kanani pushing all the way through. Might have heard a player just trying to find wherever he might have gone. He's just going to decide to dip back for a second, finds 2 players on that B flag. Was able to find that 2, but it looks like, oh no, they were not able to get the neutral. Kanani now finds a 3rd. Over in these middle buildings, he is being such a nuisance for Butler Esports, and he's just keep jumping in their spawns.
Kanani.
This is so difficult.
What are you doing to these guys? I'm not sure what spree he's on because unfortunately I think our scoreboard had died here for us, but he is definitely going to be on 4 or 5 at the very least, and he's going to be now holding on towards this 2-cap with his team. They still have a bit to go. There is enough time to get this done as they're trailing by about 31 at the moment here for us. And now Kanani wins himself another big gunfight up close with a submachine gun in hand. Pressing through the middle of the map here. He looks to get right back in towards the enemy spawn. Wins another one. Slick Bick not even able to get his gun up to shoot back. And now he looks to make the overextension play. There is a member that can stop him, but I don't think we're going to be able to see that just yet. Drew goes up top. He wins. No, he doesn't. Vortex shuts him down. And what? Look at the A flag right now. Kanani is backed up. He has won his gunfight. And now this is just a momentary triple cap being held. But as we say that, we're seeing the flip over towards C. B is the only one that I believe is secured right now for the side of Butler Esports, but there is time for Purdue to come back.
Purdue runs all the way through, gets the A and C hold. Now Kanani once again in the mid wins a big fight. 4 dad rather going to go down for Butler Esports. They might be able to push on the trip cap. Kanani though takes down his teammate. That could have spelled danger. They are going to have the trip cap momentarily. So if he keeps playing the way that he has been this entire game, it might have actually been his teammate, just helped him out right there. Very, very nice of him. Now 149 to 140. Purdue Esports scoring 2 points now with 4 dead now for Butler. This is huge.
There is no way that we have seen Purdue Esports come back on this side. The neutralization comes through on towards C. There is no points being collected right now for Butler Esports. They had the lead. They were up massively going in towards the second half, but there is no one here to be able to capture some points. A will at the very least go over, but they got to get to B now. There is the retake on the lead. Purdue Esports, they have all the pressure. They have everything that they need to close out the map. They're gonna do it. An unbelievable comeback coming through in this second half. If you are Butler University, you have to look back on this and just absolutely facepalm about how you had this one. It looked so good. The first half was purely flawless from them, but Kanani, with the help of his team, they go big. The submachine gun play is too much for them to handle, and they mount the comeback and close out the series.
Huge. Kanani going absolutely gigantic for Butler Esports, and the players for Butler already leaving the lobby. They don't want to take a look at it. They don't want us to take a look at their scores, it seems like. But Kanani with going 24 and 13, being the star player on the map the entire time that second half for Purdue. We talked about a light switch during that first half for Butler Esports, but talk about a light switch going into that second half for Purdue. I don't know what it was or what chimed in on them, but man, they were just putting pressure after pressure on every single part of that map.
That's so bizarre to me to look back on that half and be up. I think they were roughly around maybe 50 points, somewhere around there. I want to say they were up pretty massively going in towards the second side. And they also looked so good, Spyro. They were able to hold this middle map control that there just was not any match whatsoever from Purdue Esports. They were unable to get themselves to those power positions. They were losing all the housing gun battles there from across the apartments. They were just not able to get their ARs in position to allow their subs to push up and get on towards that B flag. It was perfectly done. Butler then just somehow they fumble it here in the second half, and boy, did they ever fumble and just absolutely give it over towards their opposing team. Purdue Esports, they got a lot done in that second half, and that's not an easy comeback to mount. They were only able to take the lead, I want to say, just around that 25-second mark roughly. So up towards that point, Butler was in control the entire time. That's just how big of a lead they really had.
They were really walking around that map like they owned it, because for the entire first half of the game, they did. It was like you touched on as well. It was their ARs that really were able to get everything down. And when Purdue is playing the way that they are, when their SMGs are going absolutely insane the entire series, your ARs need to be the one to turn up and stop them from coming around those flanks, stop them from pushing through mid like they were able to do so many times. And when they're not on the ball, well, and like we saw, it spells disaster, and it's hard to come back from.
It truly is. I mean, they did at least have that C favorable side coming in there for Butler, but you go up that big of a margin Margarine, excuse me. It is just absolutely crazy to see them fumble and lose that one out. We'll take one more look at the map counts here to see what the total was here for us between all three. The first one, of course, being the Azir Cade. Purdue took 250 to 143. The Search and Destroy, their weak game mode, also secured 6-4, and a massive comeback comes through in the St. Petrograd here, 159 to 152. And that will close out our series. All of our series, actually, 3-0, despite there being some pretty big matchups here. And just kind of reiterating what we talked about at the beginning of the stream, this one being a big one in the Midwest here. Purdue 8-1 up against the side of Butler, who was 8-3, now find themselves 8-4. We talked about them struggling against some of these top teams in their division, and well, it shows once again on stream.
Yeah, and right now, struggling against the top teams in your division, that's not what you want to look at, because like we said a lot, we're nearing the end of the season. Playoffs are right around the corner, and you need to fight for that top 8 spot. And right now, they're definitely, I don't think they're out of the running just yet by any means, but
Certainly not.
It's starting to get dangerous. It's starting to get very, very dangerous. And don't get me, that's a hard match. No matter what way you look at it, that's a hard match to come by. But it was an important match that was doable. It was doable by either side. And obviously today, though, Purdue was just the better team.